Proposal by a Russian lawmaker. War on divorce seekers. A legislator from Russia has proposed that anyone seeking a divorce be sent to the battlefield in Ukraine. Vitaly Milanov, a member of the Russian State Duma who is perhaps most famous for passing a law prohibiting LGBTQ+ propaganda, threatened to send people to war during a recent hearing if they defy what he termed the natural condition of marriage. According to a video that Ukrainian Internal Affairs advisor Anton Gashenko uploaded earlier this week on X. Previously Twitter, Milanov was met with some laughing when he suggested the penalty. Milanov stated that individuals seeking a divorce ought to be compelled to pay a fee of 100,000 rubles, which is around $1,134, or be sent to perform compulsory labor during the so-called special military operation, which is Russia's terminology for the conflict in Ukraine. To paraphrase what Gashenko translated as a fine of 100,000 rubles for divorce, Milanov says in the video. It has my full backing. Alternatively, conveying to the special military operation zone for forced labor. Divorce penalties are required, indeed. As a lifelong commitment, marriage is a joyous occasion. In response to Milanov's proposal, a fellow senator stated that she was unaware of his idea before recommending that he draft a similar bill. On Friday, Newsweek emailed the Russian embassy in Washington, D.C., asking for a comment. RT reports that Russian state media mogul Mikhail Milanov made the suggestion during a hearing on a bill that would provide 10,000 rubles, about $113, to Russians who tie the knot before turning 35. The divorce punishment plan would follow Moscow's lead in bolstering its military ranks during the war in Ukraine. However, RT's reporting implies that its likelihood of becoming legislation is low. Russia reportedly pardoned over 100,000 inmates, enlisting them to fight in the war, according to a prior Newsweek article. Russian exiled dissident Vladimir Osechkin claims that 1,000 casualties are reported weekly in combat zones. According to a British Ministry of Defence intelligence assessment from October, Russia's once elite Stormzy units have essentially devolved into penal battalions that are seen as expendable resources and endure high rates of casualties. Russian authorities allegedly kidnapped thousands of people on New Year's Eve and plan to use them as human shields in the conflict in Ukraine. According to reports that surfaced earlier last month, Russia announced that troops deployed to Ukraine would receive tax-exempt status and rewards and gifts throughout the battle, according to Al Jazeera, so they are hoping that would-be troops will enlist. The war is approaching its 2-year anniversary, and despite reports that Russia's military contains over 1 million men, more and more of them are allegedly deserting or surrendering to the Ukrainians. Last week, Ukrainian military officials announced that more than 100 Russian forces had surrendered close to the besieged town of Avdiivka. Additionally, they added that another 40 men had left the battlefield elsewhere to flee towards Crimea before being hunted down by their own command. Pictured here on November 11, 2022, are residents and volunteers from the Russian military doing gun drills close to Rostov. Vitaly Milanov, a member of Russia's State Duma, has recently advocated for the punishment of conscription for those seeking a divorce.